Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be trying out the Maybelline Super Stay Stick Foundations. So if you would like to see a 10-hour wear test and a review, please keep watching. And I'm going to go ahead and prep my skin now so I can read you guys some information about this foundation. So I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. Aqua Primer Mist. That mist gets everywhere. Like, it feels really good on the skin, but the sprayer is so bad. For primer, I've been reaching for this lately. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance, and this is in the shade Radiant Pink. I love this as a primer. What'd you steal? I don't know if you guys can hear Hazelnut, but she has like a unique meow she does when she steals things, and she'll bring them to me. So I'm going to take about this much. I really like this primer, especially for my dry skin. I just think it makes my makeup go on really nice. So I just went ahead and pulled up Ulta.com. I have these two shades right here, which are 220 Natural Beige and 120 Classic Ivory. So this retails for $11.99. It's only rated 3 stars. 16 shades of this, and then it says whether you're looking for a cream foundation or a contour foundation, this multitasking Super Stay multi-use foundation stick is a must-have essential that conceals, contours, highlights, and covers. Maybelline's first all-in-one foundation stick features a cream to matte foundation and a precision pointed blender sponge that is perfect for applying cream foundation at home or touching up your look on the go. It says all-in-one foundation stick up to a 24-hour wear, cover, conceal, and touch up anywhere, anytime. It features a precision pointed tip blender sponge. And then how to use: apply foundation stick onto skin and blend with fingers. So it doesn't even say to use the sponge that's on it. So I was planning on taking Natural Beige, which is the darker one, and kind of putting it everywhere, and then using Classic Ivory for like the center of my face, just so I could try out both. I have seen a few people use this on YouTube and nobody liked the sponge, so I might just go ahead and skip over that. I don't think so. Not for me. As you can see, the packaging is just a plastic stick with the sponge on one side and then the product on the other. The only other stick foundation I've ever tried, actually I have it sitting right here, is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation, and this didn't work for me. So I don't really have high hopes for this stick foundation, but we'll see. It just says Maybelline Super Stay Cream to Matte Formula, Precision Blender, and Full Coverage. Just gonna pop off the top. This one looks pretty dark. Actually, I think I'm just gonna mix both of them is what I'm gonna do. Oh, okay, now I do remember people complaining about the amount of product that you get, which is not a lot. So I'm just gonna do like streaks, I guess. Ooh, feels really creamy. So I'm just gonna do 3. There. Feels really creamy. And then I'm going to go in with 120 Classic Ivory. And I'm just going to go in between. I don't really know how much to use, so this might be too much. We'll see. So I'm going to do this side with a brush first. I'm just going to take this Morphe M439. Kind of buff that in. I mean, so far so good. Again, I do have dry skin, so I almost never know what I'm gonna get, especially if I'm using a matte foundation. I definitely don't think that this is full coverage at all, like it said. So we'll see if it's buildable. Kind of just blend it into like a light medium coverage. So I'm gonna go back in with the Classic Ivory shade. And then just a smidge of 220 Natural Beige. I do think it's really creamy though. I wasn't really expecting that. So I feel like I went in with like quite a bit of foundation and I did not get full coverage. Like I can still see like the redness right here and a couple of red dots. Like to me, this is like light to medium coverage and I put on quite a bit. Let's go ahead and do the other side with a sponge and then we'll see if maybe we can build it up over there. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm just gonna use this Eco Tool sponge. Well, I feel like this foundation is gonna be better with a brush. So it's not too bad blended out with a sponge, but I definitely think I prefer the brush and then maybe go over it with a sponge. So I'm just going to add some more. Yeah, I feel like I would go through this foundation pretty quickly. So I feel like I have to use a lot and I'm not getting full coverage, which I don't mind not having a full coverage foundation as long as I can use a full coverage concealer. But this foundation feels like really lightweight. I actually really like it. And I'm completely satisfied with the amount of coverage I'm getting. Super lightweight, blends out really nice. Like I would already, I mean, I haven't done really a wear test yet or anything on it, but I would definitely think that it would have more than 3 stars. I mean, I think my skin looks really nice. I'm just gonna add a little bit more on my nose. So I'm going in with Classic Ivory. Just feel like my nose needs to have like more coverage on it. I don't know what's going on. My nose is like messed up right now. Like I would definitely be interested in getting a darker shade to contour with because I so far really like the formula. I'm just gonna look up close. Forehead looks awesome. I think I did pretty good on the shade. Like my face is a little bit lighter than my body, but yeah, everything looks really good. I have like a dry patch right here and it doesn't look terrible. I really like this foundation. I think it looks really good on my skin. So let's go ahead and apply some concealer. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is in the shade Light Medium. Haven't used this in a while. We might not be able to use it. I've had it for a while. I mean, it doesn't smell bad, so. Then I'm just going to use the sponge. I wouldn't consider this foundation to be like fully matte either. Again, I know you can manipulate foundations with whatever kind of primer that you use, whether you use a matte primer or a hydrating primer, but to me this is like a natural finish. Like it is not matte on my skin whatsoever. I'm gonna do a little bit of cream contouring. I'm gonna use this little Tarte guy. I don't think they make this anymore. This is the Tarte, the Sculptor. This looks so bomb. I love how this looks. For powder, I'm just gonna stick with Maybelline. This is such a good powder. If you're looking for a loose powder, especially if you have dry skin, this looks so good on the skin. It's so smooth and it kind of reminds me of like Bare Minerals. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I have the shade 05 Fair that I like to use to set my concealer. And then when I'm a little bit more tan like I am now, I like to use the shade 25 Medium. So I'm going to be using these today. I'm going to take the 05 Fair to set my under eye. I'm go through, make sure I don't have any creases. I'm using my Sigma tapered highlighting brush. I'm just going to pat that underneath there. I might just like kind of bake a little bit for a second, but not like too long. Then I'm just going to set my chin. my nose and then between my brows. Next, I'm going to take the shade Medium and set the rest of my face. And I'm using my Morphe E41 brush. I'm just going to press that into the skin. I used to swipe when I would dust off powder, but now I just kind of like pat and move, if that makes any sense, because when I swipe it messes up my foundation. So this is what my skin looks like up close with foundation, concealer, and powder. I'm very, very happy with it. I love the shade. So it is 3:05 right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make that the call time. It's just easier for me to remember. I got a really late start today because, man, like, sometimes, like, I don't sleep very well anyways, and now that I'm pregnant, it's like worse. So like once or twice a month, I'll just wake up. I'll go to bed at like 10, 10:30, 11, and I'll wake up at like 3:34 and be like wide awake. And then I stay up till like 9 and I fall asleep again for like 3 or 4 hours. It's been crazy. But this morning I woke up at like 3 and I had horrible acid reflux. Oh my God, it was so bad that it woke me up. So then I woke up, I sat up, and then I was like, oh my God, my neck. And then I realized I had like the stiff neck thing, you know, and my neck hurts from like kind of like the top of my spine all the way up into my head. And I'm like, oh, I'm not getting any sleep. I feel a little bit better now after I got some sleep, but I'm still like kind of just behind on stuff. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup and then I will be right back. So I'm back. I have 0 complaints so far. I already put a picture of the foundation on my Snapchat and Instagram story saying how much I loved it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you guys everything that's on my face. So for bronzer, I used my L'Oreal Glam Bronze in the shade 02. I think they just repackaged this, I'm not really sure. For blush, I took a tiny bit of this because it matches my shirt. This is the City Color Be Matte Blush in the shade Blood Orange. For highlighter, I busted this guy out too. This is the Too Faced Candlelight Glow. I should probably get a new one, but this is what it looks like. So half of it is like a pink shade and the other half is like a white kind of goldy shade. So I just mixed the two. My lips, I have on ColourPop Skimpy Lip Liner. And then I busted this out too. This is the Wet n Wild Think Pink lipstick. And then on top, I have no idea what this is called. It came in a set. This is from NYX, and I think it came in a set of like 4 or 5 glosses, but it doesn't have like an individual name on it. So that's what I'm wearing on my lips. And my lashes, I have no idea, but I really like them. I wish I knew what they were. I want to say they're some kind of Ilora lashes, but I put them in my lash book, and once they go in there, I have no idea what they're called. Anyways, yeah, so this is what my makeup looks like. Oh, for brows, I just used my Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Blonde, and then I used her Clear Brow Gel. To set my face, I used the MAC Fix Plus, and this is the Cucumber scent, and then I remembered to shake this up this time. This is the Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Setting Mist. So yeah, I have 0 complaints. I'm like seriously obsessed with this foundation. It is so good. Like, I'm probably going to wear it every single day. Like, that's how much I love it. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here. I'll be back in about 4 hours to do a check-in, and I will see you guys then. Hey guys, so I'm here for my 7 o'clock check-in. So I've had this foundation on for 4 hours. I haven't really looked at it because I've been editing, but I wanna see. Ooh, it looks so good right here. I was worried that it was gonna cake on my chin because it is supposed to be matte, and I do have a dry patch right here, but it doesn't look bad at all. And I think the shades look really good mixed together. It did go in that laugh line, but other than that, everything looks so good. Let's look at my forehead. Forehead still looks pretty matte. So here's what my skin looks like up close after 4 hours of wearing it. I think I almost prefer the stick foundation over the liquid. I think it was called Superstay too, right? Yes, I just looked. I think I prefer the stick over the liquid, which I like that one too, but I like this one more. So yeah, no complaints, still 100% love it. So I will see you guys back here in another 4 hours. Hey guys, so it is 11:12. So I'm here for my 8-hour check-in, and I love this foundation. Oh my gosh, I was actually looking at it in the car, and to me it looks more like skin. Like, this foundation is not full coverage. Like, maybe you can put on like a crap ton and make it full coverage, but I don't like the heaviness of foundation on my skin, and I'm like 100% happy with the coverage that I got out of this, and I applied it twice. So I really like it. But if you're looking for something that's full coverage and you don't want to waste your money, because you really don't get a lot of product, and I feel like if you wanted like uber full coverage, you'd be using like half this stick. So I don't really think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth the money if you want super full coverage, if that makes sense. But if you want like light to medium kind of coverage like how I have, then I highly suggest this. It is so creamy. Like, I will pick this Superstay foundation over this Hourglass Vanish Stick any day. Like, this looks really cakey on my skin and really heavy, and this blended out so nice, and just, I don't know, like, I am like so happy with this foundation. I don't think it's matte. Again, I feel like I repeat myself like 500 million times in my videos, but I know you can manipulate foundation with whatever kind of primer you choose to use. So if you wanted it to be more matte, then you could use a matte primer. If you wanted it to be more dewy or natural finish, which I got more of like a natural finish, I feel like, I used the MAC Prep and Prime. Normally I would use my Laura Geller Spackle Hydrating Primer, but that one is like, that would make this dewy, I think, and I'm like perfectly happy with how the finish of this is. It looks so good. I'm like obsessed. Like obsessed. So I'm gonna keep this on. Oh yeah, and too, like, I don't even have to powder. I mean, I could. Should we just powder now? Let's just powder and see if I get any more oily. So I'm just gonna take the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth powder in the shade 120. This is like my favorite drugstore pressed powder, just to kind of like touch up my makeup with. Foundation is so good. So we'll see within the next 2 hours if the powder makes me oily, because you know, once you start powdering, you kind of have to like keep doing it like every hour on the hour. So we'll see, but like, you guys, I really think I'm gonna end up using like the whole thing for once in my life. I think I'm gonna end up using like all of it. So that's always a plus. Anyways, I'll stop rambling and I'll see you guys for my final check-in in about 2 hours. Hey guys, so I'm back for my final check-in. It's 1:25. So I've had this foundation on for a little over 10 hours. And last time I saw you, I powdered, and it still looks really good. It doesn't look like I need to powder on the hour every hour. I'm so happy with this foundation. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but I did want to mention, I don't think I like this brush. This is the Morphe M439. It came in like a trio set that launched with the Fluidity foundation, and I don't know. It's like, I want to like it, but I don't feel like it's like dense enough to where I really like it. I hope that makes sense. The other Morphe brush that I use, I don't know where it is, but it's another Morphe foundation. I like that one better. Like, I like this. I just feel like this would work better with like liquid foundation, because it isn't as dense as I would like it to buff out a foundation stick. I don't know. I could just be like tired rambling at this point. But that's the only thing that I was just kind of like, and I thought I would mention. But yeah, I still 100% like this foundation. I do have dry skin, in case you guys forgot or you didn't know and you're new to my channel. So I do have dry skin, and I have like a little bit of like breakouts and stuff from probably like my pregnancy hormones that I got right now. Yay, right? But yeah, I didn't think that it accentuated any dry patches, which I have one right here. I mean, you can still see it, but I feel like no matter what foundation I put on, and if I have a dry patch that's bad enough, it's gonna show up no matter what foundation I'm wearing. But this, I mean, I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, it didn't, I can see it, but it's not like horrible, you know what I'm saying? And like everything just looks so good. My favorite way to apply this foundation, I think, is with a brush and then lightly go over it with a sponge, but I don't necessarily need the sponge. So yeah, that's like a first for me, because normally I'm like sponge all the way. So it's very weird for me to say I like to apply a foundation with a brush. Anyways, so let me know if you guys have tried out the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Stick Foundation in the comments below, and what you think and what your skin type is and stuff like that. And like, oh, I love this foundation. I cannot believe it only has 3 stars. Like, what? I feel like that always happens to me. Like, if a lot of people don't like something, it always works for me. Not all the time, but most of the time. And then if like a million people like something, it like never works for me. So I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this foundation first impression, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.